Hello, everyone. This is the Parks Academy, where we discuss and celebrate all things theme parks related. We focus mainly on Disney parks and resorts in both Anaheim and Orlando. My name is Paige.
My name is Steven.
And today we will be kicking off our Disney Artist Spotlight series.
I'm thrilled about this. We had a painstaking process of nailing down dates and getting artists, but I am so excited about everyone that we have who's going to be appearing in this series. And our first guest is I couldn't be happier with who we have as our first guest.
I
So
know, I'm so excited.
before we get into that and make that introduction, what are you excited about this week?
What am I excited about this week? I don't have like anything in particular that sticks out. I guess like a piece of Disney news that I'm excited about is the new Tron locker system that we got a look at.
I saw that on Instagram. Yeah, that's really cool.
It is so cool. You use your magic bands. It kind of reminds me of like Hershey Park, getting
Yeah,
the
a little
little
bit. Yep.
lockers with the bracelets and stuff.
Most Disney rides don't have lockers.
I know. So I thought this
So
was
that's
really
interesting.
cool. Doesn't Universal have this system?
To
Like
be
when we
honest
went on
with
Harry
you-
Potter, I think there was something like that.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah.
So
When
I
we were
think
in
that's
Hollywood, it did.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
so
really
I
cool.
think that's awesome. I think that's exciting, positive change for Disney to be able to use that, because I know sometimes I don't want to leave my stuff sitting or like put it in my stroller and just wonder if it's going to be there when I get back.
Right.
So,
I think it primarily has to do with like the ride mechanism where you're on like a motorcycle and leaned forward.
right, you have nowhere to put
Because
your bag.
the other roller coasters in Disney, like Incredicoaster and stuff, you're sitting back as like a traditional coaster, so you can put it in front of you.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's great. And other like Disney stuff, I'm excited about the fact that the Disney 100 is finally here. People have
Yay.
been posting about it like crazy online, and I'm just like green with envy of how great it looks and how many people are there and stuff. But the marquee thing for me is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway
Yes.
in Toontown. What I like about it so much is that it's like its own thing. They built it up from scratch, unlike with in Hollywood Studios, how it kind of is. It took over Great Movie Ride, and it's really nice in there. It's really fun, the posters and stuff. But this one is like it's like an homage to Mickey Mouse, and it shows a lot of like the things that he's done in the past. And the popcorn stand for like concessions has like Minnie Mouse shaped popcorn and stuff. It's just so well done. It's a lot of fun, and they called it like the El Capitan Theater instead of like the El Capitan Theater. It's in
It's so
Hollywood, right
cute.
across the way from Grauman's, and it's just a lot of fun. And then the other thing too, sort of in conjunction with that, is the new Disney Eras collection that's on Shop Disney. It's basically like a it's almost like a nostalgic kind of collection that has a lot of old school early 20s Hollywood style stuff. So they have like really cool hoodies. They have these amazing little bookends that are Mickey's boots that look bronzed. um I'm definitely gonna end up buying one or two things from there before it's all said and done.
I
So,
know. The stuff is so nice.
uh-huh. And then like I said, with 100, I'm just hoping that it lasts for a while so we can actually go. 'Cause I don't think we're gonna make it out this year for it. So hopefully next year, it'll go on until like mid 2024.
If they get extended like they did with the Walt Disney World 50th, that would be awesome, because I think more people would get a chance to go and see it, and it would spread the crowds out a little
Yeah,
bit,
exactly.
which is always
right.
nice. So hopefully they do that.
Okay, well, we are welcoming Dom Corona to the show. He is a Disney artist who has been featured in Forbes Magazine, Disney Parks blog, and is currently at the Festival of the Arts. He first learned to draw Donald Duck in 2008, which propelled him into a life as a Disney artist. He attended the Disney College program and continues to create with Mickey Mouse as his main source of inspiration. Dom, welcome to the Parks Academy. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. I saw on your website that the Donald Duck thing was awesome. I loved that. But tell us a little bit about like how you got into Disney art in the first place, and like what got you into that.
So I think it was probably one of those how to draw the characters books that they sell. And I always loved drawing them. And then I took art in school, just as like, in elementary school, I had art. And then in middle school, took art and continued in high school. And, we had a whole bunch of projects that we had to do. And I would always pick Disney characters. I think that I sort of just became obsessed after my parents took me for the first time, and it never stopped and just kept growing and growing. So I've always wanted to be an artist. I mean, that's been like my passion my entire life. And then my love of Disney sort of wrapped into that. And it just seemed like the perfect goal to have.
That's amazing. I love that.
That is awesome. I had one question for you too, Dom, relating to
Yeah.
that. Is painting your only medium that you do, or did it start with drawing? Where did that really start?
So it definitely started with drawing, and I'm always like 200% into something. Like, and then I think I can't do anything else. I just have
Mm-hmm.
like a fixation. So I was always obsessed with drawing. And then I was like, no, I don't like painting. I can't get as detailed because when I was drawing, I would have my face like maybe an inch from the paper and just spend so much time on things. And I have this colored pencil drawing that I did of Stitch and I in high school, and it's like really realistic and it's great, but it took me so long, and the paper size is like way smaller than any painting I've ever made. So in high school, I started painting more, and then my high school art teacher really didn't make me want to paint after that. But then once I picked it back up again, it was just painting because I think the bigger you can create something, the more of an impact that it has. And paint is just a more fun medium for me because it's not so defined and it's not so, I mean, it can be defined, but it's not so like stressful for me to do it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know,
Yeah.
brush strokes are fun and you can just have a blast with it. So yeah, as of right now, a long answer, but painting is definitely my only medium.
No, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's great. We were while we were waiting for you on the call and doing some audio tests, we were on your YouTube channel, watching your Minnie Mouse painting video. That was incredible. I mean, it was super
It was
incredible. It was
amazing.
impressive,
Thank
and
you.
I mean, we were watching it, and I'm like, I could kind of watch these forever because they were relaxing, and the music was good. So we'll definitely link to all your stuff. But that was great. So right now you're at the Festival of the Arts. We've seen on Instagram that you are at Epcot. You're at the Boardwalk. Is this how long have you been attending Festival of the Arts? Is this, I mean, how many, is this your first time? How many times have you been doing it? And what's that like?
Yeah, so this is my first time. I was there with the Promenade Fine Art Gallery, which it used to be Wyland Gallery. So a lot of people know it as that from the boardwalk, but it's just that gallery as soon as you go in the boardwalk to the left. And I was there from January 13th through 18th. And then they cycle through the artists there because they want to feature as many artists as they can. So I was there for a week, and because there's so many people that come down for the Festival of the Arts, and you know Epcot is pretty much attached to the boardwalk. They moved me to the boardwalk, so I've been there from the 19th, and I'll be there until I was supposed to be there until February 1st, and I found out that I'm staying another week now. So I'm there every night painting from 6 to 10, and it's a really
Wow.
nice. And yeah, it's my first time at Festival of the Arts, first time doing anything like this, and everybody asks me if it's stressful painting in front of people, and I think I kind of tune the, I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Whatever I would feel about it that, you know, knocks me off my game, I
Hmm.
use it as like motivation, and it's inspiring to hear that, you know, people around me asking me questions as I
Yeah.
paint. And, you know, it's just pretty cool.
That's
Yeah, that's cool.
awesome.
There's almost like an adrenaline being a performer,
Yeah.
and doing it in front of people because like art is its own performance, and when you're doing that in front of other people, it's almost like a rush, and that's really cool. Do you have people like specifically asking you for commission stuff or trying to get information out of you from, buying your products and stuff like that? Because I see that you have a lot of gorgeous paintings online, and it all looks like it's inquiry based. So has that been something that you've been able to experience as well?
Yeah, so I've done a few commissions, and it's nice because the commissions that I've done are pretty consistent with my art, and that's something that I always want to retain is who I am as an artist, and I don't want to stray too far from that.
Hmm.
Right.
And you know, because I really love that people want to see, you know, maybe a princess in my style or something else in my style, and it's sort of like a game where you play, okay, do I want to paint this? Because I'm always really big on I paint what I want to paint. And if
Right.
my heart isn't
Hmm.
in it, I won't do it. Like I don't paint when I'm stressed. I don't paint any other time where like I'm not focused. I just only paint when I want to paint and what I want to paint. So the commissions, yeah, people definitely ask for commissions, and those have been wonderful. But a lot of what I've done that you see on my website per se is all me. Those are pieces that I've made up
Yeah.
and created, and basically submit. I sketch them, submit them to Disney, and then I can create them.
Oh, so you have to have like permission to sell them and stuff online? Because that
Well,
makes sense, right?
they're
Or
not sold online. The only thing my website is really useful for, I guess, is to see my pieces and see what's there,
okay.
see what's still available. And what happens is, because they're not sold online, the inquiries go to me, and then I just get everyone to the right place rather than having it, go here, call this person, email that person. The
Yeah, that
inquiries
Makes
come
makes
to
total
me.
sense.
sense.
Yeah. And then I sort of, I just go out from there.
That's really cool. One of the themes that I've seen on your website is a lot of like dollar bills, and it makes sense with Scrooge McDuck, which is fun. But I've noticed like there's some with like Donald and dollar signs around. I'm counting money, or Daisy Duck, stuff like that. What is that like a theme or something, or what's the inspiration behind all that?
So I think that I've always wanted to do something different. And I haven't seen this type of art done in the licensed Disney art world.
Hmm.
So, the integrity of the characters is super important to Disney, and it's something that I would never want to even think of messing with. So it's sort of like you have to keep it fun and playful, because they also, these dollar bills and things that you see have to stay true to what the character is doing. So it's really fun to create a story with it. And I
Right.
think that it's fun to see characters doing things like shopping. Like, I love shopping.
Mhm.
You have to think that Donald loves spending money, and Daisy loves buying shoes and spending
Right.
money.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's that kind of stuff. So, and
Awesome.
it's inspired by street art and people like Alec Monopoly, who I've looked up to for years. And, he does a lot of fun stuff with Monopoly Man and money. And, it's just, I guess that really, it's become a fun type of art. And that's, I think, why people love Scrooge so much, is because he's
Mhm.
just money related. So it's
Mhm.
nice to see people that are big Scrooge fans kind of attracted to my other pieces that include that kind of vibe.
That's amazing. We just got done with the holiday season watching Mickey's Christmas Carol with our daughter, and it's
Oh
so funny
yeah.
to like see, just how stingy he is and stuff. All right, the big question that I wanted to talk to you about is this proud original piece that you have. So for people who aren't sure what it is or can't visualize it, when you pull up on a bus in Disney Springs, or are leaving Disney Springs getting onto the buses, it's like one of the first things that you see. It's this just gigantic sorcerer Mickey throwing up peace signs. And I mean, it is a gorgeous piece. Like I think I sent them to you actually when
Yeah.
we first started talking, but I have a picture of our 10-month-old daughter at the time, and my wife, Paige, posing in front of it. I'm sure it's such an Instagrammable spot for people. I mean, first of all, congratulations. That's such a
Thank
huge
you.
thing. And I just wanted to kind of know, like, how did that happen? And, how did that all come about to where you got such a prominent place in Disney Springs?
Well, I got invited to do the Disney Creator Lab back in 2021. And so that was a series of a whole bunch of sessions where Disney kind of took you through different areas of business, and being able to monetize social media and that kind of thing. So that grew from there, and I became close with that team, and they've helped me so much just in terms of certain opportunities that have come up. So I got recommended by them to the Disney Springs Imagineering team, and that's sort of how this all came about.
That's incredible. What was the inspiration for it? Did you have parameters, or did they like, or did were they just like do whatever you want?
Well, it was sort of like they came to me and said they wanted something Pride related. They wanted me to represent Pride, because it's all about inclusion and diversity, which is such a incredible, way to do this on massive, massive, massive walls.
Absolutely.
So, so they wanted me to represent Pride, and they told me it could be Disney, but it didn't have to be Disney. And I think Disney is just who I am as an artist, definitely a big part of it. So I wanted to do something that was Disney, make it fun, sort of have, the things that I love in it. Like I'm a big fan of Sorcerer Mickey, and I think that the rainbow color scheme definitely ties in pride and the peace sign. So that's sort of how it all came together.
Yeah, it really like truly is incredible, and I love how even it's almost like tie dye in his hat and stuff. Like
Yeah.
to me, it couldn't be more perfect for what you see when I mean, there's millions of people that have probably seen it, which has to be really daunting and humbling and incredible at the same time. So seriously, really congratulations on that.
Thank
It's
you.
such a great, beautiful piece.
It is beautiful. As soon as we got off the bus, I was like, Steven, I want my picture in front of that. It's so pretty. It is
Thank you.
beautiful. And I think the messaging and the heart for why you did it, I think just adds to the beauty of it. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um, we may have just talked about this, but I'm gonna ask the next question anyway. What would you say do you think is your greatest accomplishment as a Disney artist?
Ooh. Let me think about this. Probably that Disney Springs wall. I mean, that is like the first time I saw that, the feeling of seeing it up there on Disney property, that was my first ever piece of art that I saw on Disney ground.
Hmm.
So I think that that was like, and that came before my Disney fine art journey. So that was really definitely I would consider my biggest Disney accomplishment.
That's amazing. Very cool. Um, so obviously, art being so personal and, sometimes your biggest, most recognized pieces aren't your favorites. What would you say is, your favorite piece that you've ever done?
I think that I sort of have a couple of them. It's really hard to choose. I mean, there's so many different phases that I go through where I'm like, oh, I really love this piece. I really love that piece. But I think Steamboat Willie, the first large scale Disney piece that I have ever done, is means the most to me because it's the first piece I did. And right now, my favorite piece is called Pluto's Pup Cup, which is a piece of Pluto with his like tongue out and Mickey
Yeah.
holding a cream cone. And I just love the way that piece came together with the color and the brushstrokes and the texture. And yeah, I just love that piece so much.
Yeah, that one's right on the very front of your website, and it's really fun. I love the kind of pastel colors and everything. It really shines, and like you said, it does tell a story, which I think is really important with art. So um, that's great. Is there anything like currently that you're working on right now that I mean, if you can't say, that's fine, but anything right now that you're working on that you're excited about or that kind of is in the works?
Yeah, so I'm working on a piece right now at the boardwalk that I hopefully will be done with tonight. It's just, I really love the way it's coming along, and it's called Quacktose Intolerant, and it's Donald Duck with ice cream.
Oh,
And
that's adorable.
thank you. And I want to continue to do ice cream pieces, and I haven't had a lot of time to create concepts and submit them and, work on that. So I sort of am in the midst of refueling and trying to see what I can come up with that I really want to, do next. And I have a few pieces that I have already been approved by Disney to paint. So those are, there's another Scrooge piece, there is another Minnie Mouse piece. So it's a lot of the characters that you already see, but just I
Hmm.
guess doing different things. So,
So
oh, there's also a Dopey piece that I
Nice.
oh, cool.
sketched out. So I might start that one soon too.
That's really, really cool. I noticed on your website too that it primarily sticks to like, the main, like the original characters, with the exception of like some Maleficent, you got a little Stitch in there and stuff. Do you do a lot of branching out into other characters? I know you said like Dopey, but or do you mainly try to stick to like,
Mickey and
yeah,
friends.
Mickey and pals?
Um, I just love Mickey and Friends. I don't know. They just make me smile. I sort of, every time I go to try a different character, I'm like, oh, but this would be so much cuter if it were Mickey. And,
Yeah, right.
it's just force of habit. But I definitely plan on branching out a bit and just, seeing who, because they're all fun. So I want to see who is the next character that I love to paint that I haven't painted yet because I don't know because I haven't really done anything besides my favorites.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, I didn't send you these questions ahead of time, because I wanted to catch you sort of off guard.
Yes.
We're gonna ask you just a couple of like, what are your favorites?
Okay.
And the first thing is, what is your favorite Disney ride? Doesn't matter which park it's in, doesn't matter which coast it's on. What's your favorite?
I want to say, ooh, 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 this is a hard one now.
It's hard to pick just one, isn't
Sorry.
it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to go through all the rides now in my head. I would say, I don't know, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is pretty insane as a ride, and I really just enjoy that one now. So
Hmm.
that's my
Good choice.
probably my favorite now.
We rode that for the first time in October, and it like blew our minds.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
it was
it was
amazing.
intense. We had our daughter with us who is unable to go on a lot of rides because she's a little one. Um, but I went on it first, and then I got off and I went over to Paige. I'm like, it was like a mixture between Space Mountain and Rock and Roller Coaster and like this ride Laugh Track in Hershey Park. And we're just like, I don't even know. It was insane. But yeah, it was super unexpected and a whole lot of fun
Yes, it
for
was
sure.
awesome.
Um,
Yeah, I just that it, it's sort of there's twists and turns in it that are unexpected, and it keeps you surprised, and it's a bunch of fun going on with someone who hasn't been on it before,
mhm.
and seeing their face when they get off is like they either look really great and really happy or really sick and really sad. So
I didn't
there's no
Right. You either have motion sickness and that ride gets you, or you had the
yeah,
best time of your life.
I didn't get any motion sickness on it, so I felt like I got off kind of lucky.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
Did
I
you
didn't have any
have you
issues.
been on Mission Breakout in DCA, the converted Hollywood Tower Hotel?
Yeah, I don't know. I really, that might be a controversial opinion. I really don't love it. I don't love that
Hmm.
it's rethemed. I love the Tower of Terror theming.
Right, right.
And, I would have loved probably to just, I don't know, make something new. I can't ever feel like it's a new ride when it's shaped like Tower of Terror and
Yeah,
it's
it
got
was weird.
it's like Tower of Terror and it's like, it's still, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
we're all for controversial opinions on here. We know like one of our marquee tent poles, if you will, of our show is that we don't criticize Disney because there's too many podcasts and things that are so critical of everything. But we want to at least be honest and not like say everything's the
Oh yeah.
best. But yeah, I think the retheming rides is weird. In fact, right in our intro, we were talking about how um, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway just opened up in Toontown in Disneyland, and how cool it is that it's like this brand new thing, and it feels like its very own attraction as opposed to like an overlay of the Great Movie Ride that's pretty much the exact same queue up until you walk through the doors and then the short starts. So I'm always up for like totally redone attractions. It's just since you said Guardians, I thought I'd ask if you'd been on it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. And I think that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway here in Florida, I love that the Great Movie Ride was so long and it was just a nice little break from the park. And besides the ride being so interesting and fun, and I just like that it was a long ride. And I think that once it changed, it just became so short. And it's like, all right, well, now what do I do?
Right, right, right. Um, it's crazy too that's like the first true Disney ride that's like with Mickey and Minnie and the characters in it. I mean, there's been other things like PhilharMagic and stuff, but this is like the first ride that actually promoted them like that. So that's crazy to me it took that long.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of parks, what is your favorite park out of uh,
That's easy. Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom? Okay,
Okay.
cool. Is there any particular reason why you like it so much, or why it speaks to you so much?
Yeah, I think the castle. It's just you can't beat the castle. I mean, you just can't. You got a golf ball, you have no real landmark in Hollywood studios, and you have a tree. So in Animal Kingdom. So I think that the castle is just my unanimous, uh, you know, I
Hmm.
just love it.
There you go.
Was Walt Disney World the first Disney property you ever went to?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
my first trip was in 2003.
cool. Um, we we joke about this sometimes on our show, but the first time, so I'm from California, Paige is from the East Coast, and so we both had different home parks growing up. And the first time she went to Disneyland with me right after we got married, we rounded the corner. I was so excited, and she saw Sleeping Beauty's castle and was like, "Is that all? Like, is that really it?" And I'm like, "No, it's amazing. It's the first castle. Look at it." And she's like, "It's really small and unimpressive."
Yeah, it's sort of shocking sometimes if you're not prepared for it. Like, if I go there and I'm not thinking about it and I'm walking down Main Street, I'm like, am I going the right direction? Was that entrance or it was
I know.
I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah,
I
that's a
know.
real
That's
thing.
how I felt the first time I went. I was like, is that just the end of Main Street? Where's the castle?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Cinderella's castle is so magnificent that it just made Sleeping Beauty Castle feel very underwhelming.
Going back to Disneyland now, I kind of feel that a little bit. I still think it's a great castle, but it is
Yeah.
pretty small comparatively.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, they should have it on like a platform or something. Okay, the final question that's like about favorites. Do you have a favorite Disney film?
Yes. Ratatouille is number one, and number 1.5 is Princess and the Frog.
Okay, well we like you even more now. Ratatouille is I think Ratatouille might be my favorite Disney movie too. I mean, it's definitely my favorite Pixar movie. It's just so incredible. But yeah, man, what a movie. I mean, gosh, the food, the art, the story. I could go on and on and on about that film. I love it so much.
It's just magical. It's totally just, I don't know, puts you it's like Emily in Paris in a cartoon.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it came first, of course,
Sure.
but it's that charm that of France, and it takes you there. You know what I mean? It's like a real place, and it's not like a made up land, and
Right.
the animation is so incredible that you feel like you're there, and it's the food and the music. Yeah, I love it.
The crazy thing about that film too is it was the first of 3 films, including Wall-E and Up, that Pixar did independent of Disney. So it was like after their 5-film contract or whatever ended with Disney, and they just basically got to throw everything to the wall and just go crazy. And so the fact that
Huh.
their first film that was independent of Disney was about a rat who cooked, is just absolutely insane and so much fun. So that's, yeah, good answer. And Princess and the Frog is,
I
oh my gosh,
love
we love that
Princess and the
one. Our
Frog.
daughter loves that movie. She watches it all the time. Are you excited about the retheming of? I know we talked about like retheming and kind of masking over old rides, but are you excited about the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure ride?
Yes, I am. I'm really excited about that. And I think that in that realm, it's okay. Just as I think that Maelstrom got, how it got overlaid with Frozen, sort of, it
Mhm.
works for me. I
Yeah.
think maybe, as I don't love the whole retheming thing, I think that if it still fits, it's okay. I
Yeah.
think whereas, Guardians, it's like, okay, this is a whole different thing going on, trying to come into, a story that is so far from what it actually
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I just think this works, and I'm really excited to see, because I love that ride. I love the
Me too.
drop. I love everything about it. So I think that to see it updated and have all new technology in it and be about a story that I really love is really exciting.
That's awesome.
I know I love the music in that movie, so I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, I wish it was, when is it coming out? 2024?
2024, yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be later than that, but that's just my dim optimism about Disney doing things on a
Yeah,
timely manner.
I
Um,
know.
well, listen, we thank you so much for coming on our show and being part of this. And
Of course.
before we wrap anything up, I just wanted to ask if there's anything that you wanted to promote. Where people can find you, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to be at the Promenade Fine Art Gallery on the boardwalk from, well, tonight, and the next night, and the next night, and the next night. But my final night will probably be, I think, February 8th, 7th or 8th. I'm not sure which one yet, but I will definitely keep everyone updated on my Instagram. and I'm there from 6 to 10 every night, just painting. So if you live locally in Orlando and you want to just come say hi, that's sort of where I'm at mentally right now. I'm just sort of enjoying my time there, and really, it's incredible to meet so many people and have them watch me paint and ask me questions, and I don't know, love it. I just love it.
Awesome. And where can people find you on Instagram?
At Dom Corona, so DOMCORONA.
Okay, cool. And we'll take all your links and put them in show notes for sure, so people can find you. Well, listen, thank you again so much for being on our program. It's been a real honor having you. And again, we love your art. And I'm probably going to be sending in an inquiry or two and some period of time, just because I keep looking through your stuff. I'm like, oh man, that would look good in our basement, or that would look good in our recording area. So yeah, thanks again so much.
Of course, my pleasure.
Thank you, Dom.
My
All right,
pleasure.
everyone. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you again so much for listening and being a part of our podcasting journey. Again, you can find us on Instagram at the Parks Academy, online at theparksacademypod.com. Please feel free to give us a good rating on Apple Podcasts, and we will continue on the next couple of weeks with more artists coming who are at the Festival of the Arts, and some just really amazing people who we're excited to introduce you to and highlight. So until then, we will catch you next time.